or tornado, we can help. Call 405-735-5510. It's time for the Steelman and Thune at noon with Mike Steely and Parker Thune. Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino calling line at 405-329-9000. Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings studios, here's Mike Steely and Parker Thune.
Welcome in, everybody. Wednesday edition. How we doing? Mike Steely, Parker Thune with you, and we are in the Buffalo Wild Wings studios today. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Parker Thune, how you doing? What's happening?
Well, Steely, I just had some delightful Luann Cookman chili, so I'm feeling great. Luann brought lunch for the entire office. Chili and Fritos. I guess there was some chowder as well. But, you know, you get chili and Fritos. At least from where I'm from, you make you some Frito pie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. How do you make your Frito chili pie?
How do I make it?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty simple. You
Fritos
just
at
put
the bottom?
Fritos in the bowl
All right.
on the bottom. Then you put a couple ladles of chili on top of it. Simple as that.
Then
no
you layer-
cheese,
then
no
you-
sour cream, no
Then
nothing.
you layer the top with Fritos, too.
Really?
I do. And
You're
then,
a garnish guy?
I'm a garnish guy, and then I put some ketchup on there, too. A little extra ketchup. That's how I roll with it. But it's always a good meal. Frito chili pie will never do you wrong. Luann, really, if you're talking about the real MVP around here, it may be Luann. She does it all. She does it all. All right, welcome in. And our first hour, as always, brought to you by Lasher Home Comfort Systems. 405-579-3113 for Tim Lasher and his great company. If you have heating and air issues, you want to call Lasher Home Comfort Systems at 405-579-3113. Lasher Home Comfort Systems, home comfort you can trust. Okay, our poll question today, and we want you guys, it is Tuesday. Did I say Wednesday? It is Tuesday. Thank you, Jason, for helping out a senior citizen. I don't even know what day it is. Who am I? Why am I here?
Yeah, I wasn't going to correct you.
I just turned into Admiral Stockdale in the Dan Quayle debate.
I was just going to let it stand. I was going to clip that for social media later and then poke fun at you on the Twitter machine.
I know how you guys
Look
are.
at this. Old man doesn't even know what day it is. He's losing it.
I have an attorney with the AARP now. All right. Thank you, Jason, for reminding me. You see, what happens is when you mess with an old person's routine, all right? It was great to be at Caven's yesterday on a Monday, but it was a Monday. So I get all discombobulated. Then they throw me on here on YouTube. You know, they've done this to me. They are messing with me is what they're doing, and it's working. It's working like a charm so far. They're probably saying, it's only a few more weeks before the old man completely loses it. Then we're rid of this guy. Then we're rid of this guy for good. But anyway, thank you, Jason, for letting me know it is Tuesday. I stream on Tuesdays. I should know that.
You think they'll replace you with an AI chatbot when that time comes?
Perhaps.
It's going to be the guinea pig.
Yeah.
The ref making a foray into AI sports talk.
In 10 years, this will be all AI sports talk. So I'd be thinking about your future, you know. You'll have robots doing everything. Like I said, there'll be two groups of people. Well, one group of people, Cro-Magnon knuckle draggers, and the other will be the AI robots, which will eventually take us all over. That's what's going to happen. And I've said for years and years and years, watch out for technology. There's a lot good, but eventually technology will take over. So, yeah, Jason, I appreciate you having my back there in Garland, Texas. Thank you very much. Okay, want you to chime in on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439 and on the YouTube chat today. Because here's the poll question. What is the biggest issue with Oklahoma basketball? We're talking about the men here. The ladies won last night. Got a little scare late from Auburn, but Ginny B and company got it done. They're 16th in the country right now. We know the Sooners are fighting for their tournament lives right now. They were 10th in bracketology today, a 10 seed in Wichita facing Clemson in the first round in the West region in Wichita, Kansas. But we know that Oklahoma's got a lot of work to do to get to the tournament. It's going to be tough. But we want to know, what is the biggest issue with the Oklahoma basketball program? Now, we have this up as a poll on the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, just search KREF Sports. There's a live button you click on. You'll see the KREF logo. If it's got the live right there underneath it, the circular logo, click on that, and it'll get you where you need to be. And you can see us on the YouTube, man. You can watch an old man and a young whippersnapper. But here are your 4 choices. Biggest issue for Oklahoma basketball. 1, lack of NIL. 2, the LNC. 3, Porter Moser. 4, team talents. This is going to be a very interesting poll because I think this could split 4 ways fairly evenly. All right? So there you go. So what is the biggest issue with Oklahoma basketball? Lack of NIL, the LNC, Porter Moser, team talent. And we'll pull up the chat, and you guys can hit us up on the YouTube chat or answer the question. You can answer it in long form right there on the text line, the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. How would you rank those in order, Parker Thune? NIL, LNC, Porter, roster.
NIL first,
Okay.
certainly.
Yep. All
I
right.
would say roster second,
Okay.
Porter third, NIL fourth. Or not NIL, LNC. LNC fourth.
Okay.
I could flip-flop between Porter and the LNC. I don't really have I don't think that's a case where Porter is clearly higher than the LNC on the pecking order of issues that OU basketball faces. But I do think the primary one is NIL. And, roster very much feeds into that. Because you have to have NIL. You have to have money in order to build a competitive roster. And Oklahoma has a competitive backcourt, Steely. They got the problem half fixed. They got a half competitive roster. What they don't have is a competitive front court. They don't have the size. They don't have the big men. They don't have the paint play.
And that's what Burley Boomer just said on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, so that falls in the team talent category. Right? That's a team talent issue. And what's interesting is somebody might say, well, it's got to be the head coach, Porter Moser, but if he is dealing with an NIL deck that is not, as stacked as other teams in the SEC, then like I said, that's why I think a lot of these, this might be split fairly evenly when we see this.
Well, and that's why I've said, too, that if you decide to replace Porter Moser, if you decide to switch coaches, if you decide to bring somebody in to fill Porter's shoes and lead the OU men's basketball program into a new era, odds are they're going to experience plenty of the same challenges that Porter himself is facing right now because there's only so much he can do when his hands are somewhat tied. And I think they are by Oklahoma's lack of competitiveness on the NIL front. When you only have so many dollars of NIL coins, Steely, and the majority of those dollars are going to football, and you have a very competitive championship-level, dynastic softball program that you got to continue to fund. You got a baseball team that's expected to succeed and contend. You have a women's basketball program that's going to take a little chunk of the pie as well. Somewhere along the way, something has to give. And somebody has to wind up with the short end of the stick. And it feels like right now, men's basketball is the sport that's wound up on the short end of the stick as far as NIL is concerned for Oklahoma.
Yeah, and I guess you would think, well, football is, the football monster feeds every other program, right? So you need to feed football as many NIL dollars as you can.
Yes, because if you're not winning on the gridiron,
No,
nothing else matters.
Everything, that's right. Metallica sang it, and you just said it. You're exactly right. If you don't feed the football monster and make sure the monster is devouring enough food, then there aren't going to be a lot of scraps, as many scraps left over for the other programs. And maybe it's wrong to call them scraps, but you know what I'm saying. Football rules. And, I've got a friend of mine who's, I wouldn't say he's a big donor. He donates, some NIL dollars, but he was asking me, why is it that OU has just been awful in the two biggest sports in their first season? I didn't expect they were going to come in and start dominating, but what's the big issue been? And you know what I think might be the biggest issue overall?
What's that?
Timing and luck.
Explain.
Timing, you come in on the heels of the Muleshoe disaster, and you can't blame that, like going into year 4 or even last year. But it's a combination also, I think, of timing and luck. The Sooners, if they would have gone into the SEC 5 years earlier, they'd have been in good shape right now. Really good shape. But you come in with I don't want to say your football program's in disarray, but it's certainly, at times it's looked that way. But the football program is not operating at a high level right now. And then you throw in the toughest schedule they've ever faced in a really good conference, the best in the country. And then you give, again, a murderous row schedule to that program. That's a big issue. And then you throw in the other part, the luck part, like Oklahoma's injury luck this past season was the worst I've ever seen. One position group completely devastated. The offensive line semi-devastated. Now, there was a lack of talent also, I think, on the offensive line, but they never were able to develop any real chemistry, continuity, play together, and which you need on an offensive line. So I think maybe, I don't know if I'm excusing things too much, but I think timing and luck has been maybe the biggest part of this whole deal, at least when it comes to football.
Fratbro Mark says, too easy. All NIL. Porter even said last fall at an OKC Golf and Country Club basketball banquet that OU has a quarter the money of other SEC schools. Big talent differential. And if that's true, and obviously, we're not privy to the exact numbers, but let's say that's true in a ballpark sense. Oklahoma's operating at, and let's be generous here. Let's say that they're operating at less than half of what some of the top-tier SEC schools in the country are operating with. It's going to be tough to win basketball games, Steely. Doesn't really matter who the coach is. Because in the sport of basketball, more so than any other sport, because you only have 5 men on the court and 15 guys on a roster, having elite talent will elevate a program.
Yeah.
You look at football, you can rely on development. You can go land under-the-radar recruits, guys that would be considered projects or maybe too flawed to immediately play at the high-end Power 4 level, but you can take them, you can develop them, you can rely on your culture and your scheme and being well-coached, and you can rely on all those things to help field a winning product. It's what schools like Kansas State and Oklahoma State and Iowa State have done for years and years and years. But in basketball, Steely, when a team like St. Peter's makes it to the Elite Eight, there's a reason why that's regarded as one of the most monumental runs in the history of sports. Because it's not supposed to happen. And very seldom does it happen. Oftentimes, the teams that are playing for championships, the teams that are making deep runs in the NCAA tournament, the teams that are at the forefront of the sport are the teams with the elite players.
Guy told me a long time ago, Thune, it ain't about the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmies and Joes, right?
And again, in basketball, that's probably more true than in any other sport.
True. Yeah. All right. On the YouTube chat, hello to Marcus. Noah, what's happening? Lack of NIL leads to a lack of talent. Noah, I think you're very perceptive. We've got Sooner Cowboys with us. Winning matters. If you ain't winning, you're going to have to pay more to attract elite recruits. Right now, OU football nor basketball is getting elite recruits. Well, they just got Jeremiah Fears, right? Kind of a unique way. Football has recruited pretty well, I think, overall, considering what's going on where you've had a losing record 2 of Brent's last 3 years. Jody Dalton says, why doesn't OU eliminate wrestling to free up more resources? It's a dying sport. The SEC doesn't sponsor it, and it doesn't sell many tickets anymore. You know, the Sooners have had a pretty good history in wrestling, right? It's not Iowa, it's not Oklahoma State, but they've won. Stan Abel won a national championship. They've had their share of great wrestlers over the years. But Parker, that's one thing you might look at down the road.
Well, like,
where are some of these sports going to be able to survive, man?
Yeah, and here's the deal, Steely. Like, that's going to become a compulsion for many of these athletic departments in the NIL era as we get to a point where, you know, we have revenue sharing and a salary cap, and we continue to get deeper and deeper into this new phase of collegiate athletics, especially those non-revenue generating sports like wrestling. I'm not just talking about Oklahoma here. I'm talking about athletic programs coast to coast, especially the ones that are competing at the Division I level. It's sports like that are going to be fed to the football machine and sacrificed on the altar of football. Because why field a non-revenue generating sport? Like, if we're thinking capitalistically, which is how everybody's going to start to think if they're not already thinking that way, if we're thinking capitalistically, why would you field a non-revenue generating sport? Why would you pay money out of the athletic department vault, if you will, to fund a sport when you could just cancel that sport, save money, and reallocate the operating costs that it comes with to your football budget?
It's going to be interesting down the road. There might have to be some very tough decisions, and we'll see what's going to happen with the NCAA. You know, we get the revenue sharing, which we think we're going to get early in April. All right, we got to take a break. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line is filling up as usual. We also will take your chats on YouTube as well. Get on YouTube, search KREF Sports, and you'll find us there. We'll take a timeout right here. When we get back, we'll continue this conversation and talk a little Sooner football as well. Next, right here on The Ref.
Join the movement. The Ref Army is growing. Don't miss a second of the Sooner coverage you want with the KREF app, the #1 source for Sooner fans.
Considering refinancing your mortgage? Now might be the perfect time to start planning. With rates on the move, Stride Bank can help you determine if you may be able to lower your monthly payments, shorten your loan term, or tap into your home's equity. Stride's expert mortgage advisors will work with you to tailor a solution that fits your needs. With local roots and national reach, Stride Bank is your go-to partner for all your banking needs. Stride Bank, your trusted financial partner since 1913. Find out more at stridebank.com. Stride Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Fall in love with OKC's favorite casino.
Because at Riverwind, we've got it all.
Grab a bite at one of our many restaurants.
Or sip and spin at our high-stakes area.
And the Showplace Theater at Riverwind is the hottest spot for live music.
Shoot your shot at our $80,000 Cupid's Quest giveaway.
For the best gaming and unforgettable entertainment,
It's gotta be Riverwind.
Ever wonder why someone would wake up at the crack of dawn just for a chance at the unknown? Maybe a better question is, what are you waiting for? Pacifico is brewed for those who follow their own path. That's living life anchors up.
What's up, Ref Army? It's Dusty Dvorak, and I'm back. I'm excited to be back with the Ref and cannot wait to help bring the home of Sooner fans the best Sooner coverage. Catch me every Tuesday and Wednesday during the 10 a.m. hour of The Plank Show as I cut it up with Plank and Josh about everything in the world of Sooner and college football. That's every Tuesday and Wednesday on The Plank Show, and there's only one place to hear it, The Ref, the home of Sooner fans. Download the KREF app today to listen from anywhere.
Oklahoma baseball single game tickets are on sale now. Don't miss a packed 31-game home schedule this spring at L. Dale Mitchell Park. Seats start at just $10 per game, with exciting promotions like $2 Tuesdays, Firework Fridays, and Sunday Fun Day for Conference Series. Guaranteed fun for the whole family. Check out the game schedule and more information at Soonersports.com. Join us at the ballpark and Boomer Sooner.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
OU softball, baseball, and gymnastics offer great opportunities for you to get out for some exciting action and support your Sooners. Going to an OU event or game? Balfour of Norman on Campus Corner invites you to stop by and get some new OU gear. Whether it's a softball jersey with your favorite player or just a new lucky shirt or hat to wear to the game, Balfour has everything you need to be in style and showing your colors. Cheer for the Sooners in the best and newest styles in Sooner sportswear. Come see us on the corner or shop online at crimsonproud.com, where you will find everything Sooner.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then, someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, Sooner fans, we've got you covered. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
No, we don't get a break.
This is the home of Sooner fans.
The Ref Sports Radio Network.
And gentlemen, welcome. It is Tuesday. I initially thought it was Wednesday, but thanks to our friend in Garland, Texas, reminded me, hey, it's Tuesday. Greg Dyken came in during the break here in the Buffalo Wild Wings studios and said, Steely, you're a high-maintenance old man. And I said, yes, I am. You guys are giving me too much to maintain. That's why. When you have to maintain a lot, you're going to be high maintenance, particularly at this age. By the way, Riverwind Casino, get out and play with your wild card today. They have the 80K Cupid's Quest happening all month long. Those are your Friday night drawings, all right? Get out there, play with your wild card, get some points on your wild card today, and you can earn 5 times the entries always for these Friday night drawings on Mondays and Tuesdays. So get out there on Friday night. And hopefully you'll hear your name called in the intercom. You can collect your share of 80K in cash and bonus play. We got another great round of monthly promotions for February at Riverwind. It is obviously Valentine's themed. Riverwind has nearly 3,000 electronic games. They clearly have the best selection of electronic games in the metro area, no doubt. All your favorite table games as well. They've got a big-time poker room, off-track betting, an Oasis gaming area now that's smoke-free at Riverwind, Skyloft gaming area upstairs that is awesome, great bars and dining with a Coupe Ale House bar, River Buffet, which is outstanding, Chips and Ales Pub Restaurant. We're camped out in front of Chips and Ales every Friday for our remote shows out there, and a great food court. Riverwind Casino is the best casino experience in the metro area, hands down. Good times, great rewards, always at Riverwind. All right, this was Porter at Rudy's last night for the coaches show, and talking about, what's going on with the team. And he said, they actually changed up practice for Monday. Here's what Porter had to say.
We went this morning. I didn't want to wait till 3 or 2 our normal practice time, so we went an hour of just trying to get the intensity defensively back. A lot of the little things, just more anticipatory rather than reaction on defense. And I thought we really had an intense hour, and then we came back this afternoon. We really were going over Missouri's game plan and had another hour of practice. So we split it up. I just think we had a great day. I think the film was great, and kind of you and I were talking about it. Is the thing to do this is to completely have perspective that we're trying to chase and get better, but also the perspective where we're at. We're still 36 in the Ken Palm, which is right there in the mix for all this. We're 16-7, and out of the 7 losses, 5 of those are against top 5 teams. So the perspective is, yes, we lost at number 1 Auburn, and we lost at home against number 4 Tennessee. I thought we could have defended better, done some things better, but perspective is that we got a lot of opportunities. We got to start taking advantage of some of these, but we've got to keep perspective and not get down on ourselves and not get this feeling of weatherness. We've got to get this positivity and this momentum going to get to get a win.
There you go. And the Sooners again, Joe Lunardi's latest bracketology. They were a 10 seed today, but again, they've got Missouri tomorrow night, Missouri 8 o'clock on the SEC Network, and Missouri has lost 1 home game this year, and that was the game to Texas A&M on the Wade Taylor 3. Other than that, they've been perfect at home. They've got an LSU team coming up Saturday at the LNC they should be able to beat. So you've got to – you talk about a must-win, that LSU game. You lose that game – now, maybe if you go to Columbia, but really if you lose that game to LSU, Pete Maravich is not there, Shaquille O'Neal's not there, Ben Simmons is not there. All right? I hate to put Ben Simmons in that same category, but you know what I mean. That would be like the final nail if they lost that game. But I think they can get that done. The question is, can they go pull an upset in Columbia tomorrow night? We'll see. But again, in the bracketology, the latest round – from Joe Lunardi today, they were still in there as a 10 seed. 405-651-3439. I've got one here on the YouTube chat I want to get to, and that is KW of Building Solar Roofing. You trying to get a free ad for us, K-Dub? Is that it? That's all right. Says, eliminating wrestling wouldn't free up enough money to buy a backup safety. If OU wants to be elite instead of relevant in this new landscape of college athletics, it will take much more than that. It's incredibly sad, but it's just where we're at. So there you go.
And there was we do have one very, what would the word be? Very fervent wrestling fan on the text line. That's Jake from Wisconsin. And Jake from Wisconsin chimed in and said, "Cut wrestling. How many natties does basketball have? How many award trophies are named after Oklahoma basketball players? How many times in the past 10 years has basketball into the season ranked in the tourney? Basketball is trash." Look, Jake, be that as it may, the point that I made was that if you're going to start cutting sports, you're going to start with the sports that don't generate revenue. Basketball is one of the few that pays for itself.
But isn't that pretty much every sport but 3 at OU?
Well, I believe
gymnastics. Are they starting to get?
When I was at OU,
I mean, KJ, they got some great crowds, man.
The sports that operated, the sports that generated money as opposed to operating at a deficit, were football and men's basketball. Was softball. And I believe women's gymnastics was very slightly turning a profit. I think that was it. I think even baseball wasn't operating at a profit at that point. I don't know if they are now.
It's tough, man. It is tough. There's no doubt. All right, 405-651-3439. Our poll question again that we have up on YouTube today is, if I can find it, poll question. Where did you go? Old man looking for poll question. Okay.
Did you find it?
There should be a little bug down here somewhere.
Did you find it?
There it is. Yeah, it just popped up. And now okay, there it is. Good Lord.
Tech support.
Drake. Know.
Drake. The old man needs help.
It's a shaky mouse causing the issue. Right now, lack of NIL, 52%. Team talent, 21%. The LNC is at 17%. Porter is at 10%. So there you go.
Panhandle Sooner says, "It's great. We've gone from let the players get their fair share to canceling sports to feed the football machine. Currently, the NIL isn't even funded by the NCAA or conference. It's by the fans and boosters. The fair share is coming from not billion-dollar TV deals. What a flawed system."
Well, we wondered when this all started what college football was going to look like in 5 to 10 years. And it's a totally different world out there. There is no doubt about that. And tradition, in many ways, is taking a backseat to how much you're going to offer me. Not in every instance, but in the majority of instances, I would say that's probably the number one question that recruits have. You know, not all, but a lot of them, I would think, over, how many natties have you won? What do your facilities look like? It's how much can I make in NIL here? We'll see what happens in April again if the $21 million comes through and the revenue sharing, at least in that area, comes in. But then name, image, likeness is going to be on top of that. But the good news is we hopefully are going to get real name, image, likeness and not pay for play, which is what it's been pretty much since this new system began.
D in Choctaw says, why don't we just have all the OU athletes sell candy bars and raffle tickets? Worked for my Pee Wee teams.
Sooner Girl Scout cookies.
Squirrel from Norman added, NIL without cap limit is unsustainable long-term for everyone, period. NCAA sports are in a death spiral until a pro sports model is implemented.
Well, I don't know. The problem is, how do you cap NIL if, now, again, apparently there's going to be a system where you can't go to Jimmy's Cheeseburger and make $1 million in an ad for Jimmy's Cheeseburger, right? Maybe you could if you agreed to a deal with Coca-Cola or something, but not Jimmy's Cheeseburger. Even it might be a great cheeseburger. But there's going to be people looking at that saying this and giving it evaluation, right? Where if that kind of stuff will not be cool. But the NCAA is really the reason for all of this BS because they dropped the ball for so long and put us in this mess. There's no way they can get us out of this mess. They had very little power as it was. They're the 98-pound weakling getting stuffed in the locker in high school right now. And they've stayed in the locker because when they come out, the courts put them right back in there, right?
KW918 says, I agree with you, Parker, but we can't even figure out how to get a new arena. So if you cut basketball, your chances of being elite at every other sport go up significantly is my only point. Not a fan of any of this, just sad. That's not true, KW, because, again, men's basketball pays for itself. Men's basketball generates more money than it costs. And so if you cut men's basketball, yes, you eliminate the costs, but you also eliminate the money that it generates. So that takes money out of your pocket if you're the OU athletic department. That decreases the amount of money that you have at your disposal.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was Donnie Duncan was the AD, I believe, when they tried to cut women's basketball a long time ago.
Yeah, that would have been, 95 maybe?
That did not go over very well.
No, it did not.
So it's going to be it's crazy. We're just getting started in this new NIL world. Hopefully what happens in April will give us some relief and it might be more manageable. But it's just, to me, I don't like the road we're on. It's a bumpy road filled with potholes and money. But there are some sports down the road that, might be the vehicle over on the side of the road that's just sitting there.
Daniel in NYC says, hey, what's up, guys? What's the latest on the new basketball arena that was voted for? Is it still happening? I haven't heard anything about it for months. Is it dead? What's the alternative plan if it doesn't happen? I mean, it's been in political purgatory, I would call it, for what feels like years, Steely. I don't know how long it's actually been, but the plans for the new arena have been in political purgatory for quite some time.
Isn't it like the last I heard, it was looking like it was going to happen, right? It clearly was voted in. You had the group that's resisting it or whatever. It's not a done deal, but it looked like it was heading in a positive direction. And there are people who think, yeah, it's a great idea, man. It's, an area, the LNC, is it an on-campus arena? At the very edge at least, or I don't know, is it even officially on campus? There's not a lot there surrounding, Highway 9 is the worst. Highway 9 was the highway to hell that AC/DC was singing about, It's that bad. I know they're doing some work on Highway 9, but and I've heard these excuses for a long time. But Highway 9 and getting to the game and game times and all that stuff, you can talk about that. But when Billy Tubbs was running up and down the floor with great teams, it wasn't as big an issue. So winning cures all. I'm not saying you're going to fill every seat, particularly now when you can watch every game, on your big screen from home. That didn't used to be the case during Billy's era, but winning cures a lot of that.
5-star Gunny of Stutzman Army would like to know, Steely, how good is Jimmy's cheeseburger? Does it include pepper jack and bacon on it?
If you want an add-on, yes. Wherever Jimmy's Cheeseburger is, I just made Jimmy's Cheeseburger up in my head, but I bet it's probably pretty good.
Jake from Wisconsin followed back up and said, they cut sports like wrestling. I will never give a cent to OU ever again.
Look, folks, we're not saying this is going to happen.
Yeah, nor are we saying it should happen.
Did
It's
y'all
just like
hear Steely say cut wrestling today? And Thune said, yeah, go ahead and take every single it away from them.
Yeah, like the brutal reality, like this is just facts. If things continue along their current path, at a certain point, there will be no more collegiate wrestling or collegiate gymnastics.
What would they be,
or
like club
collegiate
sports?
golf or collegiate track and field. All of the sports that operate at a deficit that do not generate revenue for the university will go by the wayside unless there are changes.
Yeah. 405-651-3439. We are also on YouTube again with our live stream. And ladies and gentlemen, you can go ahead and find us there just by searching KREF Sports, KREF Sports, and you'll see the live bug on our page. Click on that, and that will pull it up. Lon Kruger and Kelvin's Final Four teams were not able to fill every seat, says Jody. And that's right. 5-star Randy says basketball needs for football to win more, and that will eventually lead to bigger crumbs being handed out. Football feeds everything, right, in the athletic department. By far. It's not even close. It's like we've said football is Godzilla, and maybe men's basketball is really, really small baby Godzilla. Softball probably makes a little bit of revenue. Basketball doesn't make a ton of revenue. I wouldn't say it's insignificant, but it's not a whole lot. Okay, 405-651-3439. We got to run to a break right here. Brought to you this hour by Lasher Home Comfort Systems. Also, ladies and gentlemen, guys, last minute Valentine's information. You don't want to get yourself in trouble, do you, for Valentine's Day on Friday? How about a gift for your wife, girlfriend, or loved one from Red Bud Floral? Virtual remote we're doing for Red Bud today. Shay loves Red Bud Floral. Shay loves Red Bud Floral. They're awesome. Let your love flourish. Shop Valentine's Day floral arrangements on redbudfloralok.com. Call Lori and her staff at 405-292-0758. They will help all those clueless men out there find the right flowers for wives, girlfriends, daughters, or loved ones at Red Bud Floral, 405-292-0758. Take a break. Coming right back. Talking more Sooner Athletics right here on the home of Sooner fans.
The Ref is SEC ready. Are you? Download the KREF app today to get ready for it to just mean more in 2024.
Hi, this is Jack Kiker with Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, located in Blanchard, America. My grandfather, Larry Knippelmeyer, tells me everybody deserves to save money, so say goodbye to those pushy big-time dealers with all those add-ons like paint protectors, nitrogen tires, and everything else that they could possibly think of. Then come down to Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, just 15 minutes from OKC or Norman. At Knippelmeyer, we will save you money and make sure you get a good buy from a family-owned dealership that has treated customers like family for over 65 years. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Imagine one step, and suddenly a fall turns into a fracture. For many, osteoporosis is a hidden threat, weakening bones silently until it's too late. At the Ortho Central Bone Health Clinic, we believe in personalized care to keep bones strong and resilient. Led by advanced practitioner Amanda Boyd, our team specializes in detection and personalized treatment plans, from bone density testing to strengthening bones after a fracture. Take charge of your bone health today. Call Ortho Central's Bone Health Clinic and let's build better bones together.
Hi Norman, it's DJ Newsom with Alliance Bank, your community-driven, friendly neighborhood bank. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur, lead a nonprofit organization, or just someone seeking a better banking experience, we've got you covered. From business to personal banking, we tailor our services to suit everyone's needs. We believe in making banking easy and enjoyable. Visit our Norman location or call us today at 405-286-5750. Alliance Bank, banking tailored to your needs. Member FDIC.
Tired of your current living situation? Now is the best time to make a move. Interest rates are dropping and Home Creations is offering the best financing around with rates as low as 3.625%. This will save you hundreds per month on your brand new Home Creations home. Live like a champion today by calling Holly at 405-364-9999 for full details.
364-9999. Home Creations.
APR 6.508%.
Hi, I'm Barry Switzer. I'm supporting Larry again for mayor. He's done the thing that needs to be done. Fund the police, back the police, raise the morale. That's so important. I know the other guys voted twice to defund the police. I gotta know the blue's behind me and I'm behind the blue. So that's enough for me to say. The mayor, Heikla, is my guy. Vote for Larry on February the 11th. We need him again, I promise you.
Paid for and authorized by Mayor Heikla 2025 and endorsed by Fire and Police.
As Oklahoma grows, we want to grow with it, and serving part-time in the Oklahoma Army National Guard is perfect for that. Our service provides money for school, so we can be ready for a new career or improve our current one. We learn valuable teamwork skills and get hands-on with some of the latest tech. And we also help the communities we live in recover whenever they are in need. Our service is helping to keep Oklahoma and ourselves moving forward. Learn more at nationalguard.com/OK.
Sponsored by the Oklahoma Army National Guard. Aired by the Oklahoma Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Have you or someone you know suffered a loss to your home or business from the recent storms? Before you accept a settlement, call Brown O'Haver at 405-735-5510. Brown O'Haver is a local-based company helping Oklahomans with claims since 1988 with preparation and expert analysis detailing your loss and insurance settlement. As your trusted consultant, Brown O'Haver can give you peace of mind and make sure you're getting what's yours. Call Brown O'Haver today, 405-735-5510, and make sure they're working for you.
We tend not to think about right now, but right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. When you give to the V Foundation, 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you. Donate at V.org, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
All right, we're back. Steelman and Thune. It is the Tuesday edition, 405-651-3439. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. And on YouTube, we are streaming it now. We've been streaming about a week. You can hit us up. Just search KREF Sports on YouTube, and you'll find us there. It'll take you to the KREF page. There's a live section. Click on that, and we're live, now, noon to 3 every day. Right here on the Ref. My man Blake Gamble is helping us out quite a bit as well. He's the unsung MVP of this team right now. He's kind of like our Draymond Green. He's the enforcer, but a nicer version. Well, I shouldn't compare him to. He's Nick Collison with the original Thunder. How about that? All right, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. 2026 class, what is going on? 4 commitments still. Jaden O'Neal, the quarterback. Daniel Odom, the wide receiver, both from Cali. Ryder Mix, the tight end from Frisco, Texas. Will Conroy, the offensive lineman out of the state of Florida. Who are the Sooners waiting on? Obviously a lot, but when is that next commitment going to pop?
Great question, Steely. Probably not this month. I would say sometime in March. I think they get back on the board sometime in March. Get guys out for these spring visits once practice starts. There could be a guy or two that pops in March, but you may very well get through March without any additional commitments. Certainly you won't have to wait any longer than April, though. April is kind of the juncture on the calendar at which things get rolling, not just for Oklahoma, but for every school across the country. You're going to start to pick up pledges. You're going to start to build out that class, and then from there, the real surge is going to come likely in June, if not sooner. I don't think Oklahoma's going to have the surge of early commitments that they've had the last couple of cycles because they are coming off the 6-7 season, and there is that perception that Brent Venables is on the hot seat, and so there's going to have to be an extra degree of comfort that they establish with their targets, but I do expect June to be a big month on the trail for Oklahoma, and I think the precursor to that should be a few commitments steadily trickling in throughout the months of March, April, and May.
All right, back to the text line here in a minute. Just got since you all are talking recruiting, a friend of mine texted in, what do you consider, Steely, you were there for the Switzer era, what do you consider Barry's biggest win and biggest loss in recruiting? Biggest loss would be Turner Gill, who went to Nebraska.
What about Earl Campbell?
Earl was there, but I think but Turner Gill had told Oklahoma that he was coming to OU.
Oh, really?
And Barry Switzer, coaches, you had to, back in that day, pick where you were going to try and land somebody. But they felt really sure that Turner Gill was coming to Oklahoma. Nebraska got involved, hit him out, got the signature. Barry was not there. Barry was in Tulsa, if I believe I'm correct, trying to get the signature of Jeff Lighting out of Tulsa Union, who ended up at Texas and became a really good linebacker at Texas. So I would say probably Turner Gill would be the biggest disappointment, would be my guess. Biggest victory, I mean, you could talk about Marcus Dupree. That was a Lucius Selman operation. But for Switzer, I think it would have to be Billy Sims, man. Billy Sims, you know where Billy Sims was recruited, committed to before he ended up at Oklahoma?
Where was he committed to?
Baylor.
Really?
Billy Sims was committed to Baylor.
Smart decision, young man.
And I think Switzer flipped it, got a visit because he called him at halftime. Billy Sims was working at a gas station in Hooks, Texas. Called him from the game they were playing in Boulder against Colorado on a payphone. Got Billy to come in and visit. And the rest is history. Billy Sims winds up at Oklahoma. So I'm going with Switzer's biggest win would have been Billy Sims. Biggest disappointment would have been Turner Gill. Can you imagine Turner Gill running the wishbone at Oklahoma too?
It would have been a fun time.
Yeah, and he was a baseball player too. I think they sent Coach Seymour, if I'm remembering correctly, to go get the Turner Gill signature done, and they couldn't find Turner Gill. Nebraska held him captive. Of course, Billy Sims, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, Switzer hit him out for like 2 days too, and it convinced Billy Sims that if you wait, you're going to get all the publicity because everybody else will have signed, and then everybody will be waiting, where's Billy Sims going to go? And he ends up at OU. So they kind of held Billy Sims out for a couple days before he signed.
This is what we need more of these days in recruiting. Basically kidnapping.
Yes, that's right. Be like a hostage video. Some of those get creepy, though. What about Eric Dickerson? That would have been a disappointment as well, but I would say Turner Gill would probably be number one because Turner Gill, again, had pledged that he was coming to Oklahoma. Dickerson out of Sealy, Texas. Woo, you talk about the they once called Hartley Dykes the Typhoid Mary of college football because pretty much everybody who was on his final list of teams got put on probation, including Oklahoma and Oklahoma State and everybody else. But Eric Dickerson, ends up part of the Pony Express, great running back. But and Oklahoma was right there. There was no doubt that Oklahoma was right there, but ends up at SMU.
You know who else I
think we know why.
You know who else I wish Oklahoma would have flipped from Baylor? Steve Stutzman.
That's right, Steve Stutzman. Can we still get Steve on?
Of course.
We need to.
Papa Top is always welcome on these here airwaves.
What about old man Woolley, too? He only had a good, solid year with us, but became a full-fledged Sooner.
That he did.
Felt like. All right, 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line.
A 580 listener says, what about Earl Williams? Who is Earl Williams?
Is he thinking about Earl Campbell? I don't remember an Earl Williams. Earl Campbell was one, too. Now, the legend was that Earl Campbell, and I don't know if this is fact or fiction, but the legend was that Campbell, it was down to Oklahoma and Texas, and he was going to either pick Oklahoma if he woke up during the middle of the night. If he slept through, he was going to pick Texas. One or the other, but that's how Texas got the nod. Now, I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but that's kind of the legend that's been told on that situation. The Tyler Rose. Was Jerome Bettis ever an OU? Not that I remember. I don't think so, but I don't know. Somebody can help me out. I can't remember if he was. He ended up, obviously, at Notre Dame. Was a pretty good player at Notre Dame.
I have to wonder what it was like to cover recruiting before the age of the internet.
Dude, it was calling high schools, maybe getting the number for the prospect on a phone with a cord attached to it. And I told you how I was here the day that Hartley Dykes made his decision. He was the USA Today Player of the Year. Hattie's office right back here, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a desk in there. I was on the cordless phone. I called Bay City, Texas, identified myself. We're trying to find out where Hartley Dykes is going to school. We knew about the time, and he said, "Well, there's a press conference or an event coming up here in about 15 minutes, and that's where he's going to make his decision." I said, "Can you put me on hold? And if you'll put me on hold and just come back and tell me who he picked, I'll sit here. Whatever hold music you have, I'll be here. I promise you." About 20 minutes later, "You there? Hartley signed with Oklahoma State." It's like, what? Oklahoma State's? Really? Can you double check that? Like, Bill, Hartley signed with Oklahoma State, right? Oklahoma State. We thought it was going to be Oklahoma A&M, maybe Illinois, but it was Oklahoma
Illinois?
State. Illinois was in the mix, yes. If I remember right, for Hartley Dykes, because they also got on probation because of Hartley Dykes.
So what was the theory as to why he chose Oklahoma State out of nowhere?
Automobile and other things.
Dang, they had that kind of money before the T. Boone days?
Apparently they found some. Now, look, you got in probation for Hartley Dykes, too. So, Gator says, sorry, Earl Johnson was who I was thinking. Earl Johnson ended up at Oklahoma. Earl Johnson, who is a big-time Sooner and was a really good player, played with Spencer Tillman and had some good success at Oklahoma, and is 100% still a full-fledged Sooner, Earl Johnson. That was my first interview I ever did at the Oklahoma Journalism School, Earl Johnson.
Earl Johnson, really?
Mm-hmm. He just had a great game. He got hurt. He was at practice. Believe it or not, I walked up to Earl, who was standing there watching practice, said, "Can I get an interview with you?" He said, "Sure." We did about 10 minutes on camera. Can you imagine that happening now?
On camera, you say?
Yes.
Were you operating the camera?
Somebody else was operating the camera.
Oh, okay.
I was the alleged talent. And but that wouldn't happen in this day and age. Sports information, I was surprised. I thought somebody would stop me then, but they didn't. He was hurt and wasn't dressed out. That was probably why, but be a lot different in this day and age.
Yeah, you tried that in the Lincoln Riley days.
Oh,
you
yeah.
would have either wound up dead or in the gulag.
That's right, the Sooner gulag. Wonder if you get goulash in the gulag. I heard TJ talking about making goulash last night. You like goulash?
Goulash. What is goulash? Remind me.
It's some kind of, I think it's a Hungarian dish. There's meat and noodles and cheese, and I mean, it can be good, but the only problem is there's just something that doesn't sound appetizing about goulash.
I don't know if I've ever had goulash. Maybe I have, and I just didn't identify it as goulash. I'm going to have to do some research into goulash in the break.
1-star Jay in Tulsa gets an extra star. Nice 16 candles pull, Steely. Well done. Automobile. You know who said that, don't you, Parker?
I do not.
Long Duck Dong.
What?
That was the character. That was the character in 16 Candles who crashed the automobile. I kid you not. Hartley drove an orange BMW 300 series while in Stillwater. He took a pay cut when he signed professionally, according to 2-Star Shark. All right, thanks to Lasher Home Comfort Systems. 405-579-3113. 1 hour in the books. Another award-winning hour on the way. Right here on Steelman and Thune on the home of Sooner fans. Keep it here.
Sound off any time of day on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Right here on the home of Sooner fans.
The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Speaking of technology, did you know that RK Black is an authorized dealer for Kyocera copiers? And the Kyocera copiers aren't just copiers. They're smart devices that can scan, print, fax, and email your documents with ease and security. Even better, they're backed by RK Black's award-winning service team that is built on nearly 70 years of taking great care of our clients. Whether you need a desktop printer or a multifunction copier, RK Black has the right product for you. Let's get the conversation started. Give us a call at 943-9800 or visit us at rkblack.com.
March is almost here, and the home of Sooner fans is ready to make the best 68-team giveaway better than ever again this year. Join us Monday, March 17th for the Ref's 24th annual 68-team giveaway, live at Buffalo Wild Wings, off of 19th Street and more, from noon to 7. The Ref's 68-team giveaway is presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans, and your home for the best giveaways this March.
So what do you do if you're 30,000 feet in the air, the weather is bad, disco is fading fast, and somebody just killed one of the flight crew? Better extinguish your cigarettes and assume laugh positions as the Sooner Theater invites you to join the Mile Die Club this Valentine's Day weekend, February 12th through the 15th. The murderously funny and not quite right dinner and show is an adults-only evening benefiting the programs and productions at the Sooner Theater. Tickets are on sale now at SoonerTheater.org.
The all-new Eskridge Honda is here, right in time for the new year. Our new building is awesome, just like these deals. Pay just $259 per month on new 2024 Accords. Come in today to get the best deals all month long. Now conveniently located off I-35 and 89th. Just look for the blue tents on the roof. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
2024 Accord LX, $259 per month, 3-year, 10,000-mile lease, $399 plus TTNL and first month's payment due at signing. Ends 2/28/25.
Would you like to play a more active role in your health? At Hightower Clinical, we believe all Oklahomans should have access to new potential treatment options through clinical trial participation. Our team wants to support you with the best care possible through clinical trials. No health insurance is required. Compensation is available for eligible study participants, and study care is provided at no cost.
Having the chance to go through a trial and find out if something works for them and makes their life easier, I would recommend them do it.
To learn more, scan this QR code and visit our website.
Hi, I'm Courtney Fisher, Development Manager at Meals on Wheels of Norman. We couldn't do what we do without the generous support of Prosperity Bank through our Adopt a Route program. Prosperity Bank believes in taking care of customers, businesses, and communities by providing financial solutions to simplify everyday financial needs. Thank you to Prosperity Bank for your commitment to making sure no senior goes hungry in the Norman community.
What are you doing out there?
Come on!
I saw you at the game the other night. Yeah, you. Up there getting mad, acting like we're all out there making $1 million a game. Well, let me be real with you. This isn't the pros. It's school sports, and it's a game, our game. So please, let us play.
School sports fans, remember, when you cheer for your team, make noise for the right reasons. This message presented by the NFHS and the NIAAA.
And all student athletes in Oklahoma.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the home of Sooner fans, KREF, Norman, Oklahoma, and streaming live on the KREF app.
The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back. It is the Tuesday edition, hour number 2, presented by our friends at Hightower Clinical. No cost, no insurance needed to participate in their clinical trials in the metro area. Your medication provided for free as well. Patients compensated for their time. It's a heck of a deal. Located conveniently in various metro area locations around Oklahoma City. If you have some questions and you want to find out more information, this is the number you need to know. 405-831-5905. That's 405-831-5905. Or you can check them out online at hightowerclinical.com. All right, Sooner basketball tomorrow night at Missouri. Missouri, number 21 of the country. 8 o'clock on the SEC Network. Missouri has lost one home game this year. That was the one on Saturday. Wade Taylor's 3 for Texas A&M. Gave the Aggies the win. I'm not as angry at Mizzou basketball as I am football, but you still don't want to lose to freaking Mizzou. That's for sure. But the Sooners obviously an underdog in that matchup coming up tomorrow night. And then Saturday they have LSU at the LNC with a 5 o'clock tip-off. On the SEC Network, OU women got a little scared, nearly lost down the stretch to Auburn, but they were able to hold on without Reagan Beers. Skylar Vann had a heck of a game for Oklahoma, had 20, 15 for Peyton Verhulst. Sooners led by 10 heading into the fourth quarter. Auburn got a lead late. Sooners were able to bounce back and get the W 73-71. Jenny and company now 18-6 on the year and 6-5 in the conference. And they play at Missouri on Sunday for their next game, 1 o'clock on the SEC Network. Thunder beats New Orleans last night. 137-101 was the final. Oklahoma City made a franchise record 27 threes in the game, too short of the NBA record of 29 set by the Celtics last year. SGA had 36, 4 threes for him. Aaron Wiggins continues to play great basketball, particularly on the offensive end, and 24 with 4 threes. 4 threes for Alex Caruso last night, 3 for J-Dub, 3 for Kenrich Williams. Chet Holmgren played 25 minutes, 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 blocks. They will host Miami tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And by the way, real quick, while we're on the subject of the Thunder, you may have seen that Kendrick Perkins on one of the shows recently said, you know, when he was in Oklahoma City, he was the leader of that Thunder team that, of course, went to the finals against the Miami Heat and won the first game and lost the next 4. But Kevin Durant took exception, you know, saying this is the most effing pathetic thing I think I've ever seen. I don't know if KD thought like Perk was trying to say he was the best player. He said he was the leader, and Kevin Durant came back strongly against that. Well, Perk, on a podcast the other day, came back even harder at Kevin Durant. Here's what Perk had to say.
When I arrived, I saw separation. I come from a contending team with the Celtics where everybody was united. I get there, and they had 3 separate groups, okay? This group did not with KD, and KD did not with this group. They had so much tension to the point that we went on road trips. KD bought his boys because nobody on the team would I'm like, we can't win like this. I'm going to start a group text. KD, you a Redskins fan? Russ a Cowboys fan? I'm a Cowboys fan. We going to talk about the football games in this group message. We actually went to a game together in Dallas where the Redskins, on the private jet, where the Redskins played the Cowboys in the suite. We're going to with one another. If you have chemistry off the floor, if you have chemistry anywhere, right, it carries over to the floor. Because guess what? If we're on the same team and I know you on a personal level, I'm going to go that extra mile on the floor for you. I called Troy Weaver, who was the general manager to Sam Presti at the time, and I said, Weave, who was the leader on that team? He said, you and Nick, and everybody know it. Don't try to up my credibility with no lies. You know who came in that changed the culture.
Perk was a little upset. And I do remember Perk calling a lot of meetings back in those days. Nick Collison was Mr. Thunder. So I don't know. I think I'm siding with Perk, at least down the stretch when they were making that playoff run and in the playoffs. All right. By the way, Sooner softball 6-0 in their weekend trip out to San Diego and L.A. They will be in Waco for the Getterman Classic Saturday and Sunday. Hofstra Saturday at noon. Baylor at I think that's a 2:30 start Saturday. And then they'll play Hofstra at 10 a.m. Sunday morning and Baylor in the afternoon at 3 o'clock in the Getterman Classic in Waco. Home opener Thursday, February 20th against Abilene Christian at Love's Field. And Sooner Baseball starts up on Friday at Mitchell Park against Lehigh at 4 o'clock. 2 o'clock game against Lehigh on Saturday, and then the Sunday game at 11 a.m. So there you go. All right, 405-651-3439. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. What do we have?
5-star Randy says, back then, I don't know when back then is, but he said back then, NIL stood for no illegal loot, but now it stands for not illegal, load me up.
Yeah, I think he's talking about the Hartley Dykes era at that time. Look, Eric Dickerson got a gold Trans Am from Texas A&M and didn't even sign with them. You know, go watch Pony Excess, the 30 for 30, and you'll see him driving the gold Trans Am. So was there stuff happening back then? Yes. Now, Switzer contends he never paid for a player, but like if a player needed to go, let's say a California kid needed to go back home for a funeral or something like that, he would pay when they were in need. Whether you believe that or not. But Switzer contends he didn't pay for a player, but he did help out players, so to speak. So maybe there's a broad definition of what helping out players meant. But it was crazy, man. But this era, I don't know. I think I'd rather go back to that era to be in the one we're in right now, where it feels like we're listening or headed down a road to destruction of college football, which I don't think it'll really happen, but I just don't like the path we're on now.
Marietta Sooner with an interesting question. Steely, why doesn't the state of Oklahoma produce D1 high school basketball players like we had in the 80s and 90s?
I don't know. You had some players, though, man. You definitely had some players. Wayman Tisdale, tremendous player. Mark Price and Enid. Chew Kennedy at Northwest Classen. Stacey King ended up being a great player. Alvin Adams back in the day in Putnam City. Who am I leaving out? Jeff Webster at Carl Albert. I'm sure I'm probably leaving somebody out. Ryan Miner ended up being a great player, obviously from Hammond. Man, still saddens me even to mention his name, but just a great player. But the Tisdale recruiting was so big that I remember our sports director at the time. It was my first year here. I was not paid. I was just doing stuff. I was kind of the gopher who went around and got interviews. And our sports director's name was Tim Gregg. He was doing OU baseball. They were playing at ORU. So Tim asked me to come up because he knew what a college basketball fanatic I was back then. Asked me to ride up to Tulsa with him. And he got together with Mike Mims, who was the head coach at Tulsa, Washington at that time, later became an assistant for Billy, and set up an interview with Wayman Tisdale right after he'd made his decision for Oklahoma. So this was so big. I did like a 15-minute interview with Wayman that Tim aired during the baseball game. Like, we're in the second inning now, Sooners and Oral Roberts all scoreless. Here's Mike Steely with Wayman Tisdale. And he ran the interview, kind of had the crowd mic barely up at the baseball game. Can you imagine doing that now? what the text line would look like. But really nobody called and complained because my golden voice was on the airwaves. Not really. But they wanted to hear from Wayman Tisdale. It was huge that the Sooners got Wayman Tisdale, and that was the jump start to the Billy Tubbs era, which is the greatest era of Oklahoma basketball. So, yeah. But I don't know. That's a good question.
Sam in Tulsa says, was this read yesterday? No, I don't think it was. My frustration with OU hoops is defined by one giant mistake by Joe C. years ago. Letting Kelvin get away was clearly the worst move of his illustrious career, and what he's doing in Houston is unbelievable. Literally the classiest and most talented coach in the country, no doubt.
Well, remember the text message controversy was happening at that time. And Kelvin got caught. I love Kelvin. I love his family. They're awesome people. But, you know, and were there other coaches probably doing that? But Kelvin got caught. And then the same situation happened at Indiana as well, right? Then he ends up as an NBA assistant. I'm so happy he's back in college basketball. I think he belongs in college hoops. And great family. But that probably played a role in that, I think. And Kelvin's teams, they were tough as nails, man. Now, they would get criticized every now and then when they weren't, you know, playing their best basketball because everybody loved the Billy era because it was always so exciting. But, yeah, it was interesting that happened. Who knows? Let's say Porter doesn't make it. Maybe you get a Kellen Sampson here in Norman. Maybe you get Hollis Price. Who knows?
It's interesting what was considered a scandal back in the early days of the text message compared to what happens today, for instance.
Yeah,
because like the Brett Favre Jen Sturger thing in what was that 2008?
Mm-hmm.
That probably happens every day today.
Penile
with
pick?
with some professional athlete and an Instagram model that they correspond with.
I just can't imagine. Not that I'm pure as the driven snow or anything, but in your head thinking, you know what I should do? I should send a penis pic. I mean, there's got to be a little something wrong with you. You're either way overconfident or also in this day and age knowing that, number one, it's, in my world, it's just very creepy. But to get to that point in your life, you know what would be a good idea? I'm gonna unzip and snap and send. Who does that? I mean, plenty of people do, but I just can't imagine getting to that point.
And you know, anybody who does that these days just sent a picture of their junk directly to the government, too. You have no idea where that's going to end up.
Oh, yeah.
In the ether.
We're arresting 200,000 people for penile pics in the last month. We're going to round them up. Maybe they should be rounded up if they're doing that. But, I mean, first of all, I just don't understand that. But secondly, the Me Too movement could have crushed you very easily, and your entire reputation would have been destroyed. So, but there's still some meatheads out there, I'm sure, you know.
Is that what you call them, meatheads?
Well, I mean, yes. By the way, our poll on YouTube is still on. That didn't sound right on the heels of what we were just talking about. Our survey says, what's OU's biggest basketball issue? Lack of NIL at 46%. Team talent, 28%, the LNC at 17%, and Porter Moser at 9%. That's good. There are a lot of people who don't feel like this is a Porter Moser issue. Now, maybe they're just less vocal on this poll. I don't know. So anyway. Okay, 405-651-3439.
Sooner Man says, folks, especially on your airwaves, wanted Kelvin gone because he played boring hoops. Is that true?
There were some people who thought that, yes. That would have been one of the criticisms, yes, of Kelvin's style on the heels of Billy, of course.
I'm sure those were no doubt a lot of people that grew up watching Billy Tubbs' teams, right? Like, very different stylistically.
Yeah. And both were great coaches, though. There's no doubt. Billy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And it's really simple. I think if he'd have won that game against Kansas, he'd be there right now. But Clint freaking Normore.
Who?
Clint Normore hit some big shots. He was the football player, I believe, that was on the basketball team. I mean, Kansas, it was just one of those nights. They play 10 times, Oklahoma wins 8, maybe 9. Beat them a couple times during the regular season. But, of course, where does OU play championship games? Usually in the opponent's home state or arena. Now, this wasn't, Kemper was a so-called neutral site, but I think there were a few more KU fans there that night.
KW918 says, if a majority of people agree firing Porter solves nothing, then why fire him? He's doing everything he can to make OU competitive. Pat Riley could coach, but if you don't have money, it won't matter.
Do you think what percentage chance is there if the Sooners don't make the tournament that Porter Moser is back?
I think it's a less than 50% chance. I don't think it's a 0% chance, to be clear. But I think the odds are against him returning next year if Oklahoma misses the tournament for a 4th straight season.
Yeah. Danny Manning was a heck of a player. Yes, you were right, 405. Danny Manning and Danny and the Miracles. Danny Manning. Now, I just talked about Mike Mims came to Oklahoma with Wayman Tisdale, but Ed Manning was a truck driver, Danny Manning's dad, and ended up on the bench sitting over there with Larry Brown. From truck driving to assistant coach. It's college athletics sometimes.
Isn't that basically what Oklahoma State did to get Cade Cunningham back in the day? I say back in the day. That was like 5 years ago.
Did they recruit, was his high school coach? Is that who it was?
I can't remember if it was his high school coach or his dad, or it was somebody in his circle that they gave a job on the Oklahoma State staff in order to get Cade Cunningham there.
Yeah, I think that's right. I'm just trying to remember who. All right, break time, 405-651-3439. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, 405-651-3439. Who will have the better year next year? Will it be JFA or Mateer? How about that? That's some poetry. By the way, the F standard for there's a good version of the F-bomb and there's a bad version of the F-bomb. And the JFA last year was definitely the bad version. Because people were screaming that not in a positive way during a lot of Oklahoma games last year. You know what I mean? All right, but we'll talk about that when we get back. Stay with us here on the Home of Sooner Fans.
The word is spreading, and the Ref Army is growing. Keep telling your friends and family that there's only one station for true Sooner fans, and that's the Ref Radio Sports Network, and worldwide on the KREF app.
Hi, this is Jack Kiker with Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, located in Blanchard, America. My grandfather, Larry Knippelmeyer, tells me everybody deserves to save money, so say goodbye to those pushy big-time dealers with all those add-ons like paint protectors, nitrogen tires, and everything else that they could possibly think of. Then come down to Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, just 15 minutes from OKC or Norman. At Knippelmeyer, we will save you money and make sure you get a good buy from a family-owned dealership that has treated customers like family for over 65 years. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
The Ref is the home of Sooner fans and is once again your home for chaos. Every game-changing hit.
Long fly ball to left. Track. Whoa. Gone.
Every strikeout.
Got him. Swinging.
Every defensive gem.
He caught it. He caught it.
Every game. All year. The Ref has you covered.
Catch opening weekend of Sooner Baseball against the Lehigh Mountain Hawks Friday at 4, Saturday at 2, and Sunday morning at 11 a.m. right here on the Ref and the KREF app.
For 3 generations, the John M. Ireland & Son Funeral Home and Chapel in Morris continued to serve the community by giving back to local schools, charitable organizations, and first responders.
We provide pre-planning for funerals and cremation services at the most reasonable prices.
We are proud to be a family-owned and operated funeral home.
Award-winning funeral home year after year, our family believes in serving the people of our community.
I'm John Ireland.
And I'm Solon Daniels.
You've got our word on it.
I'm Gina Mitchell of Mitchell's Jewelry. Valentine's Day is all about love, and we have gifts worthy of the day. Modern heart pendants and fabulous gold necklaces are sure to make her heart skip a beat. She might even have a wish list waiting for you. If you're looking to outdo Cupid, our Antwerp Diamond Supplier has brought in the best Antwerp has to offer. The selection and the prices are oh so sweet. Mitchell's Jewelry in the heart of Norman at 2201 West Main Street.
Hi, I'm Barry Switzer. I'm supporting Larry again for mayor. He's done the thing that needs to be done. Fund the police, back the police, raise the morale. That's so important. I know the other guys voted twice to defund the police. I gotta know the blue is behind me and I'm behind the blue. So that's enough for me to say. The mayor, Heikla, is my guy. Vote for Larry on February the 11th. We need him again, I promise you.
Paid for and authorized by Mayor Heikla 2025 and endorsed by Fire and Police.
Good lighting is an absolute necessity these days, but not all lights are created equal. Did you know that you can reduce the energy consumption of a light fixture by up to 85% by converting to LED? Sounds like a great opportunity, but finding the right LED product isn't always easy. At Wade Electric, they have the knowledge and experience to provide an LED conversion that will save you money and stand the test of time. Whether in your home or office, get the right money-saving LED product the first time and call Wade Electric today at 405-329-1940 to receive a free estimate.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that. Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. Smile Train celebrates the cleft lip and palate community by empowering medical professionals in over 70 countries to perform essential cleft care in their local communities. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the man of steel, one of America's favorite regional radio stars. Aging right before your very eyes. Why couldn't I do a Benjamin Button deal instead? I'd be about 14 right now. Parker Thune, ladies and gentlemen, is the young whippersnapper on the other side of the window here in the Buffalo Wild Wings studios. 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Riverwind Casino will be out there on Friday. Good times, great rewards at Riverwind all the time. They've got great promotions happening for February, as always, including the Friday night drawings. And this month, officially called the 80K Cupid's Quest. You can get out and play with their wild card today. Try and earn a few points on your wild card. Get 5 times the entries in the drawings on Friday night. And get out there and collect your share of cash and bonus play. 80K in cash and bonus play up for grabs in the 80K Cupid's Quest. We have the 15K Cupid's Bouquet of Cash promotion happening. The Thunder Up and Double Down promotion all month long. You can win up to $700 in chips. 30K Royal Hearts is happening all month long. You can win a share of 30K in chips in that promotion. And the 30K Love to Win hot seat drawings are happening as well. Win a share of $30,000. Jesse Crittenden is outside staring in the window. How about that? Is he coming on with you today?
The Jesse Crittenden?
The Jesse Crittenden, who won the Harry Potter Hogwarts Regional competition, according to the text line. Maybe he's coming in for a new photo. That's it. Maybe that's it.
Have you asked him about the Twitter account named after him?
I have not.
He has a fan Twitter account.
Really?
Yes.
What's it called?
There is a user on Twitter who goes by the moniker Jesse Crittenden is sexy. All caps. Sexy. And the avatar is just a photo of Jesse's face.
How many people are following? Do we know?
The account has 91 followers.
91 followers. Well, you better start, Getting out there and posing and selling yourself. Got to get those likes and, retweets. Do whatever you can. Sell your soul to get them. Become a fake insider. That's a good way to do it.
Many are calling Jesse the Sidney Sweeney of the OU market.
How about that? By the way, the halftime show at the Super Bowl, any opinion?
I thought it was solid.
Look, I'm old. Do I know who Kendrick Lamar is? Yes. I'm more of an old school hip hop guy, Public Enemy, NWA, that kind of stuff.
I love the fact that Kendrick did the diss track, that he actually did Not Like Us.
Oh, man, he cooked, Drake. Can you believe the crip walk that Serena did? Dude, if you're white and you're trying to be hip, okay, let me just tell you, particularly if you're older, you're not, okay? I know you're trying to score hip points. You're not. Man, I can't believe she crip walked on him like that. Dude, don't do it. I'm just saying. That's just me. But we're trying to think of a mainstream. Who would appeal to a mainstream audience? Because somebody's going to be upset at the Super Bowl halftime show. That's just part of it. And again, my theory, after years and years of research into these losers on Twitter and social media, 90% of them, maybe 95% of them, is they want to bitch about everything. Now they're looking to cook somebody because they don't have anything else in life besides that. That's it. But somebody, let's say, let's take, who's a hot country bumpkin star right now?
Hot country bumpkin.
Morgan Wallen, is that the guy?
I don't know. Like Post Malone apparently did a country album.
Post Malone might kind of reach a couple genres, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's talented, man. He's super talented. But, you can't go full-fledged country because that's going to anger some people. You go full-fledged hip-hop, it's going to anger some people.
So you
First
basically,
of all, there are many.
You need somebody that transcends genres, is what you're saying. You know who we need?
Dua Lipa.
The Man in Black.
He's not available.
We live in the AI age, Steely.
Oh, like a hologram show? A hologram show?
We can bring him back. Do you see the...
Johnny Cash is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Country Hall of Fame.
Did you see the AI Jimmy Johnson feature before the Super Bowl?
I did. It was a little bit... Well, it was a lot of bit creepy.
Oh, my goodness.
Actually.
I hated it. I was appalled by it.
Is Jimmy leaving, or is that the tribute for...
I don't know. Well, he's going in the Hall of Fame, so I assume that had something to do with it.
So it's the Hall of Fame tribute, right?
Look, Jimmy Johnson's a football legend, a great dude. I wish they would have put more effort into highlighting his story and honoring him than simply having him do a voiceover and plugging it into an AI machine. Because it was terrible.
Get ready.
It was crappy production value.
There's going to be a lot more down on the way. A lot more down. You're going to, well, you're probably old enough, but somehow I believe the future babies are going to be born with AI built in. That's just how it's going to happen. There'll be there'll be a spanking, they'll cry, start breathing, then immediately trying to cook somebody on Twitter, which will be built into their hand. Because that's how we'll evolve. I gotta cook somebody.
Who is Jelly Roll?
Jelly Roll's pretty good.
Is that the fat guy with the face tattoos?
Yes, he's pretty good. He would probably cover a lot of ground. Who is the greatest Super Bowl halftime performance of all time? I got to go Prince.
Prince.
Yeah. Yep. Now, you can try it the old man rockers. Like, I love The Who. I love the Stones. I like The Who better than the Stones. But when you're trotting the old versions out, it's not quite as good, right?
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in 08 was great.
Tom Petty's good, yeah. That was a good show.
It will never get better than Prince in 07 to me, though.
Beeville Mason says the JJAI had the OU logo on the field.
Yes, it did. It was an AI image of him
And
during his time at Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about how he was the head coach at Oklahoma State, but the AI version of him was walking on Oklahoma State's field that had an OU emblem at midfield.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't notice that because I would have thought, well, it's an OH. That's crazy. But Jimmy was on staff at Oklahoma.
He was?
Yeah.
Very briefly. There was no mention of that.
Well, and they dressed in drag. I remember that's the big story about Jimmy Johnson, the staff. They thought they were getting fired. They had a night where they all got a little bit inebriated, and they all dressed in drag and drove around town. You can confirm it with Barry by God Switzer when he comes out here to do his next commercial. All right. Yeah, true story. Prince is vastly overrated. Now, sir,
you're welcome to that opinion.
We do not allow blasphemy on the text line.
You're welcome to that opinion, Sooner Man. You will not diminish the impressiveness of his performance at Super Bowl 41 in 2007 because he was in the rain on a glass stage, not only singing. He was not lip syncing. He was actually singing, but also playing the guitar and ripping off that fantastic solo in Purple Rain.
How many instruments did Prince play? Like 22 instruments?
I don't know.
I think it was 18 or 19. You could Google it up, and I'm sure you get the answer. Maybe Blake can do it. But I think it was at least like 18 instruments that Prince played. Did you see him at that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when they had all those Hall of Famers on stage? And then he came on stage to play the solo for While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
No, I've not seen that.
All those guys are like, oh, my God.
Jesse G says, whoever sent that text is overrated.
Now, look, you may not like some of his songs or whatever, okay. But as a musician, very, very awesome. The answer from our man Blake Campbell, at least 27 instruments that Prince could play, according to the Google machine and AI. So there you go.
Did that man ever do anything but play music? Holy smokes.
Yeah, he hooped some. He was a hooper. There's right, but he's really like 5'4", though. Would have liked to see a one-on-one matchup between Muggsy Bogues and Prince.
Muggsy clears. Muggsy would have dominated.
Muggsy was a beast on defense, too. Wake Forest Demon Deacon.
You don't play 14 years in the NBA at 5'3" if you're not next level saucy.
Yeah. All right. Let's get in a few from the text line and from YouTube chats.
A 918 listener says, block that idiot who bashed Prince.
Well, music is subjective. Now, if he was saying Prince is a totally overrated musician, then there might be the reason for the Matumbo SWAT. But not in this instance.
Josh from Moore asks, how many likes or donations to get Steely to Crip Walk live on YouTube?
Oh, no.
Can you Crip Walk?
Hell no.
You think you could learn?
See, look. One of the things I haven't tried to do in my life is be a poser or trying to do what everybody else is doing. Those people are called followers. I consider myself a leader. There are about 5% of us in the population. You're a leader, right? You don't just follow every trend.
No, certainly not.
Have you tried to cook somebody, or have you said cook somebody on X Twitter? Yeah.
I'm sure I've tried to cook somebody before. I don't make it a regular practice.
Okay. Cook this guy. Prince versus Eschbach in hoops. Well, yeah. Al did take on the lady from Cambers in Penn Square, and I think she won. So Al's easy to post up, I'm sure. Very easy.
Drew from Firemount on the topic of sports says Milo Suzanne and Otega Owe, they're on better teams.
Yep.
Have gotten better. I think some of the Oklahoma Preps kids that we didn't get in hindsight, like Padula and Brandon Garrison, have been some contributing pieces on their teams. But yes, Steely, go get Kellen Sampson, Hollis Price, and Quantas White and bring them back home. Did y'all see OU baseball announce they set a season tickets record?
Nice.
60% increase in ticket sales from the 24 season. Should be a fun baseball season.
Awesome.
It better be.
Thank you, Drew. Yes, Sooners open up Friday against Lehigh. Weekend series. Friday game is a 4 o'clock start. Saturday's a 2 o'clock start. Sunday morning at 11 a.m. So there you go. There you go. 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line.
Big Rich in OKC suggests that penile picks might be a new way to grow NIL. I don't think there's much of a market for those. I mean, maybe there is, and I'm just not aware of it.
You saying that would be the exclusive content? No. See, here's the deal. I laugh at that, and then 5 years down the road, who knows? In this, like I said, since we're circling the drain right now, nothing really surprises me anymore at all. All right, couple more.
Reformed Homer says, I have no voice in the halftime. I switched to news and sports talk radio in the late 80s. I have no idea about most music today.
Well, I've got the old opinion that music was much better back in my day, by gosh.
Back before any of that auto-tune
That's
garbage.
right. They played real instruments. We didn't need to auto-tune anything, okay? Go listen to Steely Dan's Asia album. Zeppelin. You know what? Times were better. Music were better. People were better. Nobody was out there trying to cook anybody, and there was nobody looking for constant attention like these attention-seeking clowns out there in this day and age. Well, I better get on right now. I need some likes and retweets. OU is going to have a turnaround season. They're going to be number one picks all over that field. You can book it. Send. That's what's happening right now. All right, we'll take a break, come back. That was a brilliant, brilliant display of how it happens right there. Audio. Well, a display on YouTube. And
I love how you have an actual keyboard in front of you, and you still decided to hit the table.
I had to reach too far. It was a bridge too far that quickly. So, I mean, that sounded like a good, solid keyboard, right? All right, we got a break. Stay with us. We're coming back right here on the Ref.
Through the dead of winter, to the dawn of spring, through the dog days of summer, and the kickoff of fall, no one covers Sooner football like we do. The Ref is SEC ready. Are you?
OU softball, baseball, and gymnastics offer great opportunities for you to get out for some exciting action and support your Sooners. Going to an OU event or game? Balfour of Norman on Campus Corner invites you to stop by and get some new OU gear. Whether it's a softball jersey with your favorite player or just a new lucky shirt or hat to wear to the game, Balfour has everything you need to be in style and showing your colors. Cheer for the Sooners in the best and newest styles in Sooner sportswear. Locally owned for more than 45 years, Balfour continues to be Sooner fans' favorite OU store and has everything you need. Balfour has the latest styles and fashion trends for men, women, and children. You can find something for every Sooner fan. When it comes to hats, they have you covered with more than 100 styles to choose from. Even OU socks, so you're literally covered from head to toe. Graduation is right around the corner. They have OU diploma frames in stock. Or you can always get a gift card so they can choose the perfect gift for themselves. Come see us on the corner or shop online at crimsonproud.com, where you will find everything Sooner.
Celebrate love at the Artesian Hotel, Casino, and Spa. Treat your special someone to a romantic getaway featuring luxurious accommodations, indulgent dining, and unique shopping experiences. All in the heart of Sulphur, Oklahoma. Plan your visit today at artesianhotel.com.
Confidence comes from knowing you're getting a great deal. That's why we're offering Confidence Ford employee pricing for everyone. The same exclusive prices our team enjoys, with fantastic savings on new 2023 and 2024 models in stock. Now is the perfect time to drive home in a brand new Ford. Visit us online or come see us in person, conveniently located at 825 North Interstate Drive. Confidence Ford of Norman, a Cavender Auto family dealership, where confidence is Cavender.
Hi, I'm Barry Switzer. I'm supporting Larry again for mayor. He's done the thing that needs to be done. Fund the police, back the police, raise the morale. That's so important. I know the other guys voted twice to defund the police. I got to know the blue's behind me and I'm behind the blue. So that's enough for me to say the mayor, Heikla, is my guy. Vote for Larry on February the 11th. We need him again, I promise you.
Paid for and authorized by Mayor Heikla 2025 and endorsed by Fire and Police.
While serving in Iraq, our vehicle was hit. They didn't think I was going to make it. I'm Latoya Lucas, and I'm a veteran. I had to learn to live with the scars, both visible and invisible.
DAV helps veterans like Latoya get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is overcoming my wounds so I can help other veterans.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Dreaming of your own backyard oasis? Be the envy of your neighborhood and let Signature Custom Pools help you create the perfect poolside paradise. Their professional design expertise can transport you into your own Mystic Falls, suburban sanctuary, or Mediterranean retreat. Settle into an endless vacation, entertain your family, friends, and get the signature touch with Signature Custom Pools. Call them for a free consultation at 405-898-9098 or visit them online at signaturecustompools.com today.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
This is some auto-tune right here, Steely.
Oh, yeah. You think Johnny Cash would have ever been auto-tuned? He'd have smashed his guitar over your head if you'd suggested it. No doubt. Pete Townsend's Strats over somebody's head, probably. Also, if that would have been suggested. Because back in my day, the people were better again. The times were better. We didn't have the amount of attention-seeking clowns that we have today. We had real, solid humans. Hardworking, dedicated, thinking about their community. They weren't thinking about their damn selves every second of the day. They were thinking about goodness and America. And when the next Raquel Welch movie was coming on. That's how we rolled back in the day. All right, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line.
Chris from Knoxville says, why not Slayer for the next Super Bowl halftime show? In all seriousness, thoughts on another Big Four member, Metallica? The music I listen to uses real instruments. It just scares people.
I remember back in the day, it was, let's see, you had Kiss was Knights in Satan's Service. Alice Cooper was supposed to be the Antichrist. Then Marilyn Manson came along. He was the latest.
Can you name the original Big Four?
In Kiss?
Of metal.
The original Big Four of metal?
Yeah.
Metallica?
Metallica's one.
Megadeth?
There you go.
Well, Dave Mustaine got kicked out.
Yeah.
Tool?
Nope.
Not the original?
Misfire.
They came, okay, I'm trying to think. Who am I leaving out? Give me some hints on the other two.
Chris mentioned one of them in his text.
Chris mentioned one of them in his text. Oh, Slayer?
There you go. 3 of 4.
Black Sabbath?
Nope.
Well, they were kind of the forerunners, weren't they?
They were the forerunners. They were the precursor to metal. The fourth was Anthrax.
Okay. There you go. I remember that Anthrax got sent to Tom Brokaw and Dan Rather. Not the band, apparently. Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax, and Metallica, says the 909. I was into Metallica, wasn't into Slayer or Anthrax, was into a little bit of Megadeth. Symphony of Destruction, probably my number one Megadeth tune.
Panhandle Sooner has cast a vote for Steely doing the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald at the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh, man. We can't do it on here anymore either. The Edmund Fitzgerald is down at the bottom of Lake Erie and staying there. Musically.
We could do it on here. We would have to find a knockoff backing track, but we could do it.
That might be difficult.
I don't think it'd be all that difficult. I'll bring in the mandolin and accompany you live. How about that? I will play your chords.
Who is a band that utilized the mandolin quite a bit? Mandolin.
Well, let's think here.
Seals and Crofts. Zeppelin did it on some of their instrumentals. Not instrumental,
I'm
but
trying to think of like prominent songs.
Zeppelin 3.
There were very few bands, very few contemporary. Well, I mean, contemporarily, like these days, 21st century, there are a lot of like folk rock, bluegrass type bands that use the mandolin. Like it's prominent in that genre. But like if we're talking actual rock music, like the stuff you and I are familiar with, there's a mandolin in Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Summer Breeze, Seals and Crofts. Doesn't that have a mandolin in it?
The riff of Losing My Religion was written on a mandolin.
Yes, that's right. Correct. I'm sure there are others. Zeppelin on like Zeppelin 3 and some of their stuff that wasn't super heavy. Jimmy Page played it quite a bit. By the way, I need to get out and see the new Zeppelin documentary. The only problem is I don't think I could get Shay to go to that. She'll go to about any movie, but the last one I talked her into, we got to go see Nosferatu. It's Robert Eggers. I love Robert Eggers. I love the original. I saw the Werner Herzog rendition too. I want to go see Nosferatu. She went, but I don't think I could talk her into the Zeppelin one. I do need to see the Dylan movie too. You haven't seen the Dylan movie yet, have you?
The one with Timothy Chalamet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
John Paul Jones played the mandolin, not Page. Well, I just saw a lesson where Jimmy Page was on a video the other day playing the mandolin. So you may be right. John Paul played it on Going to California. Okay, yeah. But I did see a couple videos where Jimmy Page was playing a couple of the Zeppelin tunes. It was like an instructional video, or maybe it was the one where he was with Jack White and I think The Edge. Maybe it was that video.
Reformed Homer says, Steely with a full symphony orchestra backing him up doing the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald would be awesome.
Who has the best full symphony orchestra? The New York Philharmonic? Who is it?
I don't know, Steely. I don't have a clue. It's not my wheelhouse.
Sometimes when you go with the full Maggie May, that's another one. Yes, Rod Stewart. Absolutely. Good call. Okay, 405-651-3439. Thank you, Hobby Sooner. Thank you. Iron Maiden. Crucifix was saying Iron Maiden. You guys, you didn't honor the British metal, did you?
British metal?
Iron
Such
Maiden
as?
and Black Sabbath. With the other four, Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, and Megadeth, all American.
See,
right?
I forget Black Sabbath is British. Because in my mind, like the Black Sabbath I think of is the Dio era Black Sabbath, not the Ozzy era Black Sabbath.
I'm laughing at South Park episode when Ronnie James Dio played their whatever their festival was. Please welcome Ronnie James Dio. Did you grew up in the South Park era, sort of?
I never watched it.
You
though.
never did? I imagine in a preacher's
I've watched
home,
some of it in
that
my.
probably would have been frowned upon.
Yeah, I've watched some of it in my adult years, but the problem is that series been running for what, like 26 years?
Yes,
something like it's been running forever. So like,
The
if I ever
Simpsons
wanted to
is
watch
what,
it start
40?
to finish, if I ever wanted to watch it start to finish, that's a heck of a commitment.
I'm trying to think of my favorite episode. I got a kick out of the one where Mecha Streisand, Barbara Streisand as like the Mecha Godzilla character, finally gets destroyed by Robert Smith of The Cure. Which to me is like, yes, Robert Smith, hell yes. Disintegration forever. Those guys are a little bit out there, but it's pretty good. Judas Priest says the 405 as well. Yes, Judas Priest, man.
CJ Sooner in Florida on the text line said, Steely finally learned what cooked means this week and proceeds to overuse the term. LOL.
What do you mean finally learned? What does cooked mean? It just means you're trying to embarrass somebody on Twitter, right? Or isn't that what it means? Trying to cook somebody?
Yes.
And the people, again, who have too much time on their hands, as the great band Styx used to sing, are really themselves getting cooked in their own lives. Why? Because if you wake up thinking about, I need to cook somebody, once again, you are probably getting cooked yourself. My suggestion, get out, get yourself a life, a well-paying job, start a family, and participate in the real world. And quit being a follower. Be a leader. Don't be a follower.
By the way, our poll is complete on YouTube.
That's right. And the final results, what do you think?
The final results are as follows.
Okay.
Lack of NIL received 44% of the vote.
Right.
Team talent received 32% of the vote.
Okay.
The Lloyd Noble Center received 15% of the vote. And Porter Moser received 7% of the vote. The other 2% was lost to the void, apparently.
Porter did better than I thought he'd do in this poll. I think people like Porter. They're frustrated. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Yeah. NIL and the roster kind of go together, right? So basically that's like 76%. The LNC only getting 15% surprised me a little bit as well. And the question, of course, was, what's Oklahoma basketball's biggest issue right now? And there it is. All right, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. And we really have to wait till tomorrow night before we have anything going on. We've got the Sooner basketball team at Mizzou tomorrow night. Missouri, number 21 in the country. The Thunder hosting the Miami Heat tomorrow night. By the way, Luka's debut last night, 14 points, 5 of 14 from the floor, 1 of 7 from 3. Did have 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Anthony Davis's debut with the Mavericks. Of course, he's out with the abductor strain now, out several weeks. 26 points, 16 boards, 7 assists, 3 blocks, and was 2 of 2 from 3. So a much better debut for Anthony Davis, but now he's on the injured list. LeBron had 24 last night. Austin Reeves had 22. And Austin Reeves, of course, over the weekend, did pour in a career-high 45 against the Indiana Pacers Saturday night. Hillbilly Kobe, third leading scorer for the Lakers. If I would have told you, Parker Thune, yeah, Austin Reeves in the year 2025 is going to be in his 4th year with the L.A. Lakers. He's going to be averaging 19 points a game with 6 assists per game and 4.5 rebounds and be the Lakers' third leading scorer. You would have said what?
How much havoc did COVID wreak on the NBA's level of talent?
He's been awesome. He's been unbelievable. Wasn't there a rumor that he was with Taylor Swift for a second?
What? No, that was not a thing.
I thought, who was it, somebody else?
No.
I thought there was a rumor that was started that Austin Reeves, and he denied it, like, no, that's not happening. This was about 2 years ago. Blake's on the Google machine, trying to Google it up before time runs out in this ball game. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on a 90-second clock here, pretty much. Really? Yep. What does the headline say?
Summer of 2023. Reeves said BS.
On the rumors that he and Taylor Swift are dating. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the MVP behind the scenes is Blake Gamble here with us. All right, we got to get out of here. We're going to get locked in coming up next. Appreciate you guys each and every day. Good job, as usual, on the text line and on YouTube. The Lakers were winning by 30 last night, yeah. And the Jazz made it somewhat interesting down the stretch. 9-point win for the Lakers, though. And again, the Thunder last night, record 27 threes made in their beat down of the Pelicans. Too short of the NBA record of 29 set by the Celtics last year. Okay, thanks to Hightower Clinical. Also thanks to our friends at Riverwind. We'll be out there on Friday. Get out and play with your wild card today. Get 5 times the entries for the Friday night drawings, all right? Have a great rest of your Tuesday.